Hey guys, it's LukeMan97. Welcome back to another video in World of Warships Blitz. And today we're going to be looking at the Spanish cruiser Canarias. And I'm sorry I haven't made a video in 2 weeks, but like I was telling you guys, the first week I was really sick, and the second week I had some personal stuff that kept me from making a video. But anyways, this is the Spanish cruiser Canarias, and as of now, it's the only Spanish ship in the game, so maybe they'll add some more in the future, but it's the only Spanish ship in the game. It's obviously a premium ship because Spain doesn't have a tech tree. But this is the historical camouflage. I don't own it currently, so we'll just have to roll with this camouflage, I guess. But yeah, so basically, it's a little bit of history on the Canarias. It was actually built in Spain. It was laid down around 1928, but the Civil War that started 3 years after it was laid down slowed down the construction of the ship, and it wasn't finished till 1936. So when it was finished, and by the way, it had a sister ship whose name was Belarus or something like that, and they planned to have a third one, but the third one was never made. And so, during the Civil War, this ship was used by the Nationalists, along with her sister, obviously, and was quite successful, actually sinking about 64 ships in the Republican fleet, which was the opposing side. And although her sister Belarus was sunk by Republican destroyers, she survived the Civil War and was quite successful. Now, during World War, and also the design for these cruisers were actually based on the County class design from Great Britain. So, yeah, that was the design basis. But during World War II, actually, this historic camouflage, I was looking at it, and I've heard other people say this too. I was like, why would you just paint Spanish flags on the hull as the historical camouflage? Well, actually, this is quite realistic because during World War II, Spain was neutral from the war, the whole war. So she didn't participate in the war at all. So they painted these big Spanish flags on each side of her hull and the bow and stern so that she wouldn't be mistakenly fired upon during the war. Although the one thing she did do during World War II was she did go to the site where Bismarck sank to look for survivors. So that was one little thing she did. Now, after the war, she was modernized. I mean, not modernized, but she received a refit where this one big, gigantic smokestack you see here in the center was actually replaced by two smaller ones. So this is the pre-World War II configuration, I guess. And she continued to serve in the Spanish Navy until 1973 when she was decommissioned, and then about 4 years later in 1977 she was scrapped. Although the efforts were made to try to turn her into a museum ship, but it didn't really work. So, what do we have here? Well, the historic camouflage gives you more ship hit points, more main battery firing range, more AA range, more torpedo damage reduction, but obviously we don't have it, so we'll just have to go with this camouflage. First of all, let's get some comparisons let's compare this ship to a couple of things. So, first of all, we've got to add her to the list, of course. And then, so first of all, I want to compare her to the England's Devonshire, or however you want to pronounce it, because this was one of the county class cruisers, and that's a good comparison. Also, I want to compare her to Pensacola, the U.S. line, because Pensacola and Devonshire are known to have kind of the same armor scheme as Canarias. So obviously, what we see first is that Devonshire gets defensive AA, whereas Canarias gets sonar and engine boost. And Devonshire gets an extra repair kit and obviously the single-fire torpedoes. So we see first that Canarias has more hit points, which this is kind of a theme for her. She has a lot more hit points than normal tier 6 cruisers, heavy cruisers, because I guess, and she has very good deck armor, Canarias does, I've heard. So it's a lot better for keeping the fires away and keeping away the citadels. But anyways, she is faster than Devonshire, but Devonshire is noticeably more maneuverable, especially in the turn time. Their guns are very similar. They're not the same, but they're very similar. Canarias has a much better reload time and a slightly better range. But as you notice, she doesn't get HE shells in her main guns, so you can only fire armor piercing with them, which armor piercing is good, but it kind of sucks sometimes when you're facing like a destroyer at really, really close range. You overpenetrate a lot. And somehow Devonshire has a better AP damage, which is weird because England's ships are not really known for having good AP, except for like the Warspite, but they're mostly known for being fire starters and having good HE, so that's kind of weird that it would have a better AP damage. And then obviously Canarias has a better turret traverse speed, which is also something you'll notice with most of the other tier 6 heavy cruisers. She does kind of reign as far as the turret traverse speed. So Canarias does get a secondary battery. So there's 8 single turrets of, well, basically what you can just call destroyer guns. They're 120 millimeter, so most basically destroyer guns, 4 on each side. And obviously Devonshire doesn't get secondary guns. Devonshire gets torpedoes, Canarias doesn't. Devonshire has noticeably better AA. Canarias' AA is one of its weak points. It's not very good. And Devonshire's surface detection is somewhat better. Okay, well, let's see about the Pensacola. So obviously Pensacola gets defensive AA as well, because it's a US ship. So yeah, Canarias still has noticeably more hit points. She's still faster, although Pensacola is more maneuverable. You see here, Canarias still has a better reload time and a better range. That's one thing about Canarias. She does have a very, very good reload time. And I've added some equipment to get that down even further. And Pensacola has the better AP damage, and Canarias has the better turret traverse speed. As far as the secondary battery, Pensacola's are slightly bigger, like 7 millimeters bigger, but it's not too much of a difference. And Pensacola gets better damage and chance of setting fire because I guess they're bigger. And obviously Pensacola reigns supreme in the AA with everything better except for small caliber AA range. And Canarias has a better surface detection, which obviously Pensacola is going to have better AA. It's an American ship. So, what do we look at now? Let's see. So, let's look at next, obviously, the elite bonus here. So, obviously, I put in the elite gun operator was the best one there, because obviously you never choose Meteor as service on a premium ship. Cruiser modernization, it gives you more hit points, which is nice, I guess, but Canarias already has a lot of hit points. AA is basically non-existent, so there's no point in giving you any more of that. And main battery traverse speed is already pretty decent. So I went with elite gun operator because it gets your reload time down even more, and it increases your traverse speed by just as much as the cruiser modernization. So yeah, that's the elite bonus I definitely recommend for this ship. Camouflage, we already talked about that. Battle honors. Obviously, the first one is just you play 5 battles, you get some boosters and money. It's just normal premium battle missions. And then second one, destroy 2 enemy cruisers and you get some shipyard resources of copper. As far as this, she gets 3 engine boost 2, which this ship is already fast as it is. When you activate the engine boost, it makes it even faster. And then she gets sonar 1 as well. So that's the abilities of this thing. As far as equipment, what I have on here is main battery mod 2 in the first slot, because it gets your reload time down even more, and it was the best one that I could find, and gives you better survivability. The second slot, I know a lot of people say Canarias has very bad steering, and they go with steering, but I went with propulsion because I wanted to make the thing as fast as it could go, and I haven't noticed the steering was too deficient. And then slot 3, I have propulsion, which makes it faster, which, again, you could go with steering here, but like I said, I just want to make it, I went for the speed build here to make it as fast as I possibly could. Like, when you enable that engine boost, you can get it up to like 38 knots, I think, which is pretty crazy for a heavy cruiser. So that's my equipment recommendations. As far as the commander, There isn't many Spanish commanders at this time because this is the only Spanish ship in the game. I think there's only 2 that you can obtain unless it was through a special event. Let's see. Yeah, in the commander crate here, yeah, there's only 2 possible Spanish commanders. Francisco Gasol and the one I have, Antonio Till. Look at all the like British commanders and U.S. commanders compared to them. So yeah, you can only get 2 of them. I just got really lucky and lucked out on getting a Spanish commander. Like I wasn't expecting to. I got the commander before I got this ship. I just got him randomly out of the commander crate. And then when I got this ship, just put him on. But you shouldn't need more than 1 of these guys unless they decide to add some more Spanish ships to the game in the future. And if they do that, I feel like they would probably, honestly, add some more Spanish commanders too. So, as far as commander skills, obviously the first one you have Underwater Protection Expert. The second one, I chose Battlefield Support, which gives you an extra sonar skill, which is kind of useful. I mean, you could have chose Torpedo Alert, but yeah. Slot 3, I have High Alert, which reduces your damage kit cooldown time. Propulsion would have been an option, but that's only for the first 40 seconds. And Artillery Maintenance Expert, I've seen many other people do, but that's also only when you have more than 75%, which is not all the time, so yeah. Slot 4, I obviously have Victorious Charge, because the other 2 don't really make sense. Slot 5, I would probably, honestly, yeah, I'd go for Survivalist. Slot 6, I'd definitely go with Recon and Surveillance. All 3 of these make sense, but Recon and Surveillance, since the ship has sonar, I go with that on all sonar ships that I have. Slot 7, obviously fully prepared because nothing else makes sense here. Slot 8, I'm kind of torn between Extinguisher and Adrenaline Rush because it gives you a better reload, but I'd probably go with Extinguisher because it already has a pretty decent reload and it has a lot of stuff here that you don't have, like secondary automatic battery and torpedo tubes, which you don't have. Slot 9, I'm kind of torn between Engine Overload and Demolition Expert. I'd probably go with Engine Overload though, because without torpedoes or huge guns, you're not going to be like shooting off people's modules very often, and this thing does have an engine boost. Secondary battery, shell dispersion. If you're really close to someone, you're not really going to be worrying about shell dispersion. Slot 10, obviously, I'd probably go with compartment maintenance because we don't have rapid reloader and you don't get medals very often. Obviously, slot 11, I would go with the APCS because we don't even have high explosive shells in the main guns, and we're not an aircraft carrier. Slot 12, probably Horizontal Protection Expert. Giant Hunter doesn't make sense, and Citadel Strike. You can Citadel light cruisers now and then, but it's not like a battleship where you're going to be getting crazy amounts of Citadel. So probably Horizontal Protection Expert, which will make your deck armor even better, which on the Canarias is pretty good because the Canarias' deck armor is already pretty good. So that'd be that'd be useful. So let's go ahead and get into a battle with this thing. Show you guys what it can do. And this ship has been a very rare ship for a long time because they introduced it in a Blitz pass a long time ago. I don't remember when it was, but they did. And ever since then, you saw one like once in a while, but you barely ever saw one. I picked it up in an event that happened recently where they had a reward tree where you could get the Canarias, and so I just picked it up because I was trying to get the Japanese battleship Ashitaka, but I couldn't get enough wins to get it, so I just went with getting the Canarias because it was the cheapest option there that I could afford. So, in the first battle, we are up against Andrea Doria, Fuso, Warspite, Atlanta, Indianapolis, La Glacière, and De Grasse. And the Andrea Doria and Fuso are playing as a team. So, that's a lot of premium ships to have on the other team. So, honestly, we might lose this, but I want to show you what this Canarias can do against destroyers and lightly armored cruisers. Because the thing is that with destroyers, this thing, if you're at the right range, you can do stuff to destroyers. If you're too close, you overpenetrate. With light cruisers, this thing shines. You can get citadels all over the place because these are 8-inch guns, and light cruisers don't take very kindly to them. So the Legionnaire and the de Grasse are basically the same thing, and they're light cruisers, so we should be able to do some nasty things to them. These things don't do very well against battleships either because obvious reasons. They don't penetrate the armor. So normally what I do on this map is I come into the area, obviously, because we need to be in here. Okay, good, we have the area. Okay, there's the Legionnaire. Well, that's my rear battery firing at him. Ow, that hurt. I think that was the Andrea. But usually when I come, I go behind this rock while staying in the cap, because I don't want to leave the cap, but I also don't want to be, like, out in the center exposed to everyone, because that's not very pleasant. Okay, so we're not holding the cap, but no, yeah, they're getting it. But basically, the Atlanta is also a lightly armored cruiser. But on our team, we have a Gneisenau, Black Francesco Corrucciolo, Queen Elizabeth, Shores, Nuremberg, and of course me, and a Mahan. So, I see the Indianapolis. The Indianapolis is more of a heavy cruiser like us, so I'm going to inch out because I don't see their battleships anymore. The problem is I'm like the only target here. The Queen Elizabeth, I guess, but yeah, ow, that hurt. I think that was the Indianapolis. Okay, we're not going to be getting the cap anytime soon. Okay, I can't really have a fire right now. I usually don't Damacon single fires, but I really couldn't have a fire right then. So, we're definitely not getting the cap, so I'm not going to keep staying behind there and getting pounded, because there's no point in doing that. Okay, that's the Doria. Let's go ahead and fire at him. Oh, that's decent, I mean. There's the Legionnaire. I'd rather be firing at him because he is the lightly armored cruiser here. We've already lost our Mayhem. Honestly, this is kind of looking like a loss because of obviously how good their team is and how they're holding all the areas. I probably shouldn't push out from behind this rock too far because, yeah, if their Andrea starts firing at me, it's not going to be fun. Yeah, he just did. Ow, that hurt. I can Damacon the fire? Okay, I'm good. I don't know how I didn't die there. But yeah, we're definitely not going out from behind this rock anytime soon, or we're going to be a goner. So, we've gone undetected, which is good. Because it doesn't matter, even like one destroyer gun bullet could end it at this point, so. The Gneisenau is burning. The Gneisenau is burning, okay. I'm just gonna poke out. Okay, I can repair a little bit. That's useful. I'll just poke out my bow a little bit beyond this rock, and maybe at least get my front turrets on target. I don't want to poke out too far. This should be good. Okay, there. My front turrets can fire now. Hopefully, I don't get fired on. There goes the Indianapolis. I'm going to move out a little bit, although the Indianapolis is going to hurt if he decides to start firing at me. Okay, back up. I'm already getting fired. Yeah, I think I'm dead. Yep. Well, what can you do? Anyway. Well, that wasn't very fun. It was really unfair from the start because their entire team was basically premium. And so they had like the best ships possible, which if our team doesn't kill one of their ships soon, they're gonna get overwhelming victory, which I don't really like the thought of that too much. But anyways, what in the world just happened? There's like some sort of glitch in that Atlanta's turrets like unloaded before he did. Okay, so the de Grasse is charging ahead. They better take out one of these ships soon, because I really like to not let them get overwhelming victory. The Gross is burning. So, no point in watching the rest of this. It's clear we've already lost. That's game. But, one thing I was gonna tell you guys about, first of all, was I not only recently got this ship, I also got the Giulio Cesare, which is also a new ship to me. But, yeah, so I'm not going to talk about it too much in this video, but yes, I probably will soon be doing a review on this, probably on Thursday. Honestly, I'm doing a double upload this week since I haven't uploaded to you guys in like a week or two, so I'm gonna do a double upload, one today, one Thursday. So, and then I still need to do reviews on the De Grasse, which I also have as a premium ship. The Chung King is one of the new Pan-Asian cruisers, so I might do a review on that. I still need to do one on the Black Bayern and the Exeter, as well as the U-Body. And then we can start doing regular tech tree ships. But let's do a second battle in the Canarias. Hopefully we get Canarias, sorry. I think that's correct pronunciation. Hopefully we get more lucky this next time, because last time was very unlucky. Like, I was the only premium ship on the team, and their whole team was basically premium. So that wasn't very fun. I don't know why. It seems like when I'm doing a video, I get like the most unfair teams in my life. Then when I'm doing it by myself, I get fair. Alright, well, we're up against Bot, Riho, Koenig, Ajinku, Ramat, Hawkins, Farragut, and Mutsuki. So, the Ramat is one of the new Pan-Asian cruisers, but it's essentially a Cirrus from England, because it's part of the Dido class. So, it's nothing special except for the fact that it has hammerhead, or actually deep water torpedoes. And we have Bot Riho, New Mexico, Black Iron Duke, me obviously in a Canarias, Visby, Nicholas, and Kamikaze. So, this is a lot more fair than last time, honestly. In fact, I might venture as far to say that it's a little bit unfair towards their team, but yeah, I hope we can at least be okay here. And there's obviously a destroyer in C, because I can't see them, and I'm detected and they're capturing. Okay, can you guys get A, please? Okay, there's the Farragut. Farragut. Yeah, I don't really want to face an Ajinku right now. Let's get our sonar running in case he launched some torps. There comes the, ow, that hurt. That was the Ajinku. The Ramat's getting torqued. Yeah, the Ajinku can do very unpleasant things. The Ramat is on fire and fighting. He just demiconed. Okay. My sonar ran out. Okay, finally the Ajinku. Hawkins is firing at me, but the Ajinku left me alone, I think. As you can see, the Ramat is somewhat of a lightly armored cruiser, and you can see the things I'm doing to it right now. There comes the Ramat's torps, because they're deep water, but I'm well out of range of those by now. Okay, the Ajinku is... Okay, there's a Farragut. Sorry. As you can see, if you're at the right range, you can do very unpleasant things to destroyers with this thing. And this might be the end for me. Yeah, this is definitely the end. Alright, maybe... One of his torps got me. Oh, never mind. They both did. But I was able to take him out. He got vengeance on me, but... Yeah, okay, so that was kind of annoying. I hate this glitch in the game where basically if a torp goes really, really close to you but you barely avoid it, you still get hit by it. That's so annoying, because if it wasn't for that glitch, I would have survived just now. I don't know why. It seems like always that happens where... Okay, guys, there's a Ramat here that's basically dead. Can you take him out, please? Really? Oh, okay, good, thank you. So now we're even on kills, and we're capturing all the areas. Well, we're capturing B at least, which that's good. The Mutsuki is almost dead. And A is getting captured. It's struggling. We're struggling to capture. Okay, the Ajinku is dead thanks to the kamikaze. And there goes the Mitsuki. Okay, thank you, Black Iron Duke. Over here we need to kill the Hawkins because he's kind of hindering this base from getting captured. Black Iron Duke is coming though, and there's a New Mexico. Oh, don't turn, New Mexico. What are you doing? If he had stayed straight and not turned, he would have been fine. Anyways, I think he got hit by like 2 torps, but sorry for all this moving around of the camera. Let me just switch to a good point of view. New Mexico. What is he doing with his turrets? Let's go to the Visby. Visby can probably torp the Koenig. And then... But yeah, unless something horrible happens to our team, I think we got this one. Because, as you can see, we have all the areas, we're way ahead on points, and we're also ahead on kills. Why would he launch his stuff at the... Okay, the Visby is smart, only taking 1 torp. Hawkins is dead. Nice, nice. And New Mexico died. Our New Mexico died too. So now it's just the Koenig. There's the Hawkins and... Yeah, okay, so... The Visby probably will die, but now it's up to the Black Iron Duke and the Koenig to duke it out over here. Sorry for making you guys watch this long, but I just wanted to make sure you guys saw if we won or not. The Black Iron Duke is doing what English battleships do and HE spamming. There goes the Visby, as expected. The Koenig has 2 fires from what the Black Iron Duke did. He might just burn to death, I don't know. Never mind, there we go. Okay, well, finally we actually won one, so that was nice. I got 16k damage in 1 ship, but you saw when I took on that Farragut there that I did very unpleasant things to him. Like, I took down basically a lot of his health in like a few minutes, in like a second. So if you're at a favorable range where you don't over-penetrate, you can do very nasty things to destroyers in this. So this is basically a destroyer / light cruiser killer. So that's basically what this is. Anyways, guys, that'll probably be it for this video. Like I said, Giulio Cesare review coming soon. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a like down below if you're enjoying the series. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you get a notification about all my newest videos, especially the one that's coming on Thursday. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next one.